How are we, guys?
Good, thanks, Clint. How are you?
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving life now that we're back doing what we're supposed to be doing. I'm DJing a lot. I'm on the radio and making new music, and it's all very exciting. So, yeah, I feel I'm in a good
That's
place.
brilliant.
I was getting a bit worried during the pandemic. Towards the end of it, I was thinking like, I just want to stay at home for the rest of my life and do this. And I knew that wasn't healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've had a similar experience where I was in the house. I've written a lot of songs, but
Yeah.
I was also thinking, I don't want to be outside. But now that I am outside, I love it. It's great to see. I'm seeing gigs happening and friends of mine out on tour and stuff. And obviously we're going out on tour in September. And obviously we're going to be finishing up in Manchester and Castlefield on the 26th of September. And obviously really looking forward to being back in Manchester.
You know what's scary, Gary? Talking about the passing of time, it feels like I was thinking it was just a few months ago that I spoke to you when we talked about the fireside sessions, and we did that over Zoom. That was over a year ago, just over a year ago.
That was a year ago?
Yeah, it was the 21st of August, 2020.
Wow, it's almost like an annual thing. I'll just give you a shout every year.
But I just thought it just felt like a few months ago. But we're dead happy that you're coming back to Manchester. It seems like, because a lot of gigs that you're hearing about, like Weller's coming back to Manchester and it's next spring, and the Killers it's next summer or whatever. But with you, it's just a few days away, really, isn't it? 26th of September, you're playing Castlefield Bowl. Are you familiar with that venue, Gary?
Yes, we played there before, and I saw Elbow in it. So a wee while ago now, that we played in it, and that I saw Elbow. But it's an absolutely lovely place to play and to see a gig.
And it's right. I think a lot of people, even from Manchester, don't realise that it's right on the site where the Romans settled 2,000 years ago. So it's right where Manchester started, or Mancunium as they used to call it back in those days. So
wow, that is a great bit of knowledge.
It was a Roman fort, and there's still parts of it. On the site where the gig's going to be, there's still part of the ruins of the Roman wall. So it's a very historical place.
You know what? The last time we played there, I was probably a few drinks in. So now that I'm nice and sober, I'll go and check all that out. I'd like to learn more about that. Actually, that's a great shout. Thanks,
honestly, in fact, if you get on Wikipedia in the afternoon when you're down there before sound check, get on Wiki and have a read about it, and then have a look around the site. It's really exciting. It'll be one of your favourite venues, I think, after you've done this gig, because it's going to be quite emotional, isn't it, for the city? I mean, that week of gigs, it's going to be celebratory, but I think really emotional as well, after what we've all been through. It'd be nice to see things getting back in action, won't it?
Absolutely. I'm two fantastic. The Lathams are playing with us, and Lucy Blue's playing with us as well. So it's a great bill. Very, very happy to have them both.
Yeah, what a great way to shut down sounds of the city. I remember the first time I saw you in Manchester, Gary. I don't know if I've told you this before, but you played a venue called the Music Box. It was part of In the City. Do you remember the In the City music convention? Yeah. And I DJ'd right after your set. And if I remember rightly, I think you had Wags out of Black Grape. He played guitar with you as well at that gig. Do you remember it?
Yeah, I did. That was great fun having him with us. He's just an amazing guy.
21 years ago, that.
21 years ago.
21 years ago. It was 2000. But what makes me laugh about that is that when I think about Snow Patrol, or I listen to Snow Patrol, I don't hear a heritage band. I know that you are, but you still feel like New Kids on the Block in terms of how contemporary you are. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, that's very kind of you. I mean, it's not something we sort of pay too much attention to in terms of like when we're making music, but I appreciate that. I like being part of the 21st century. As a human and as a writer. It's not something that's mega conscious in my mind to sort of maintain, but it is something I guess I approach life with to be sort of at least modern.
Yeah, you must feel grateful that you've had the following that you've had over the years that stuck with you through thick and thin. You've had such a loyal following. Absolutely
amazing. Really is. We've 20. It's our 26th year, so it's thanks to everybody, especially people in Manchester that are listening to your show, and everybody in the surrounding area, like for coming to see us play. And over the years, it really has been loads of fun, and many more years to come. I very much hope.
Yeah. Any new music, Gary? Can we talk about new music yet?
Yeah, well, I have written a whole bunch of songs, and I'm really excited about some of them. As you know, as a great songwriter, Clint, you are. I don't know what your hit rate is in terms of songs that you write that you love, but as a song, maybe this shows me where I'm actually at as a songwriter. But I think I'm probably like 1 in every 50 I like.
Really?
So yeah, so I write an awful lot of songs. You know, I'm still that guy that's like just writing and writing and writing and writing, and I'm like and I'm looking for that little bit of gold. And it's, you know, it's a long process with me, you know. So I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of artists out there that every single thing they write just turns to gold, but that ain't me.
I find that I don't write with that volume. Like, I've not written 50 songs for a long time, but the songs that I do write, I like them all and I complete them all. I think the ones that aren't going to work, I just bin them along the way. Do you know what I'm saying? But,
right. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
I just go for it.
I stick with things too long. Clint, that's a really good idea. I should just jettison them immediately.
A lot of the time I finish it. I think it's the best thing I've ever written. I'll say to my wife, this is the best song I've ever written. And then I'll play it and I can see her glaze over because it's not the best thing I've ever written, but I always believe it is. And I think that's a great asset to have, that if you just believe that everything you write is the best thing you've ever done.
Oh, I'm kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm kind of like, everything I do is crap, and I'm like, oh, just my head's always like, oh no, I'm never going to write another song again. So I'm trying to like change that mindset. So I think that's a good idea to just, okay, this isn't working. Get rid of it. Let's not polish this anymore.
Or send it to me and I'll finish it for you.
Well, I'll send it to you, and you can either finish it or you can tell me to scrap it and start again.
Oh dear. So where are you now, Gary? Are you in rehearsals or something?
Yes, in London, getting rehearsals started and getting the you know what it's like, getting the ship together again.
Yeah, getting the machine moving again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big job.
Yeah, and everybody's I've been doing my learning all this. It was 18 months of like not playing the song. You know, I'm not playing the songs that often or in the same way that you play them live, like standing up singing. That's not something you do when you're at home. When you're at home recording, you don't stand up and sing. That's a bit weird. Like, but so like having to learn how to stand up and sing again. It's been a journey.
That through my work as a DJ, because I've gone from being sat down for 16 months to being up on my feet DJing in clubs, and I'd forgotten how it feels to be this physically tired. I feel great in my head, but physically tired in my eyes. I'd forgotten what it was like to have tired eyes. I've not had that for a long time.
How the gig's been going? How's been DJing?
It's been beautiful, because it's like one of the really nice things I've noticed is a new generation of people are coming out for the first time. People who've turned 18 during the pandemic are now coming into nightclubs for the first time in their lives, a lot of them. And you can see the joy in the face. They're overwhelmed about, you know, the size of the PA system, the sound of the volume. They've never experienced volume like that. And, you know, the smoke machines and the lights and the atmosphere, and people like, oh, you're right, where are you from? And so it's nice seeing people dancing, but it's lovely seeing that new generation of, you know, first time clubbers, you know, first generation clubbers, these people now. And it's been really just refreshing and fulfilling to witness that personally.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. I remember when I was 18 and going to clubs I was an indie kind of rock metal kid growing up. So when I went to uni in Dundee, and they had a whole bunch of things, you know, that were happening every week. So I would go along to whatever was happening. And it was my first experience of dance music. And I got to see Jeff Mills DJ. I got to see Andy Weatherall DJ. I got to see Dave Angel DJ. I saw all the the top guys at the time. And I didn't really know enough about it to appreciate it. But I remember just having the best time of that, you know, just going to clubs for the first time and it just being this entirely new world to enjoy.
Yeah. Was it Dundee was Lucifer's Mill in Dundee? Was that Aberdeen?
Lucifer's Mill was in Dundee.
Yeah.
I don't think it's there anymore.
Did you ever
play think it's there anymore? I think it's something else. We did, a few times.
I had one of my most surreal moments on stage in that venue, and I still have recurring dreams about it, or nightmares, where we turned up to do a gig, the Inspirals, and the stage wasn't big enough to get us all on. So they had like a second stage, didn't they, on the other side of the little walkway through to the toilet. It split the stage in two. And the main part of the band were on the left stage, the bigger stage, and I had to go on a separate stage. So I was separated from the Inspirals, and people were walking between us to the toilet, and it was like,
oh no,
this isn't what I signed up for. Yeah, that was Lucifer's Mill in Dundee. That incredible.
You had your own plinth.
Yeah, that was it. And it was just it didn't feel right, and I still have dreams like that now, like scary dreams. But anyway, hopefully you won't have that problem at Castlefield Bowl. You'll be on the same stage as your bandmates, hopefully. And there won't be people.
Yeah, hopefully, let's fall off it. You know, you never know. But yeah, it's that weird experience of like being doing a gig and the toilet is behind the stage, or the toilet's like next to the stage, and people are just walking by you all the time.
Yeah. But my other recurring nightmare about as a musician is we turn up for a big gig, the Inspirals, and we walk out on stage to do the gig. Good evening, or whatever, and all my gear's still in flight cases, and I have to start building it. I have to start building it in front of the audience.
Oh yes! Oh my goodness! I remember a gig in Glasgow where my guitar lead was in this absolutely horrendous knot, but I didn't realize that until I went on stage. It was like, I don't know what had happened, but like the strongest man in the world had like tied it in a knot. I couldn't get the knot. It was like literally, you know, it was however long, a 20-foot cable, but it was literally a foot long. It was that tightly knotted, and I couldn't get it undone. And talking about dreams of things like anxiety dreams of you and your Lucifer's Mill, me in Glasgow at the QMU, trying to untangle that lead. It must have taken 2 minutes, but it felt like 2 years of my life. And the audience were just standing there with their arms folded, waiting for us to start. And in my dreams, sometimes it might not even be on the stage, but I'm just untangling a really tight knot, just like probably grinding my teeth.
It's a musician's equivalent of the dream that the man in the street has about getting on a bus and realising you've got no pants on. It's that equivalent.
Yes. Yes. Oh man.
Anyway, yeah. Well, hopefully none of that'll happen at your gig in Manchester, and I'll definitely come
hopefully not.
26th of September. There's still some tickets left, I believe, and you're going to be supported by the Lathans and Lucy Blue. The Lathans are an amazing band. I don't know if you're familiar with them yet, Gary, but absolutely,
absolutely, yeah, they're great. Both are great. Both artists are brilliant. And Clint, thank you so much for having us on again.
No, it's always a pleasure, man. We play your records a lot on XS. We've got a lot of our listeners are big fans of yours, so it's always nice to keep them happy.
Thanks, mate.
I'll see you on Sunday 26, yeah?
See you on Sunday 26.
All right, Gary. Take it easy, man.